At ease, Commanders. Today we're going to talk about how to use the Predator Annihilator in your games of Legions Imperialis. We'll start first with an overview of the detachment and its characteristics, weapons, upgrades, and special rules. 115 points gets you the base detachment of 3 Predators. They have a 9-inch move, a save of 3 plus, a calf of plus 2, a morale of 3 plus, and a single wound. The Annihilator variant of the Predator is equipped with a Predator las cannon and a sponson-mounted las cannon. These share the standard las cannon profile and have a 22-inch range that fires 1 die. They both hit on a 4 plus and have -1 AP. Both have the anti-tank trait, but the Predator las cannon is accurate and the sponson-mounted las cannon is arc front. The only upgrades that we can purchase for the Predator Squadron allow us to increase the number of Leman Russ within the detachment. In general, I would recommend that you take larger detachments rather than a greater number of smaller detachments. For games under 2,000 points, I would recommend having at least 6 tanks per squadron, while games above that limit should probably have 9 Predators per detachment. While this does reduce your ability to react to different threats on the table because you have fewer detachments, it will also give your detachment greater resilience against enemy fire, something its moderate armor value requires. The Predator has no special rules. Now that we have a basic understanding of the Predator Annihilator, let's consider its strengths. The most important one is the strength of its main gun. The las cannon is far and away the standard anti-tank weapon in the Imperial arsenal, and the Predator Annihilator is an easy way to incorporate this excellent gun into your Astartes army. A large detachment of Predators can put out a very strong volume of fire, and with half of those shots being accurate from the Predator las cannon, the detachment is going to hit with a majority of its shots. Because the las cannon has a lower AP value, however, of only -1, the Predator is going to be best used to engage enemy medium armor, or to strip void or construct shields from enemy engines. Another strength of the Predator Squadron is the number of vehicles it can contain. Because of this, the Predator Squadron has good resilience and staying power in the offense, allowing it to push up the table while supporting any casualties that it suffers. Its movement of 9 inches is also a big advantage, giving it a maneuverability that will allow us to react to enemy movements, ensure we maintain proper lines of sight and fire, and allowing us also to get quickly up the battlefield to seize enemy objectives. The Leman Russ does have a few weaknesses, though. Its primary weakness is its medium armor. With only a 3 plus save, the Predator Squadron is going to take regular casualties even from light anti-tank weapons, and any serious anti-tank fire is going to rip through it. Because of this, it will be very important to make best use of cover and line of sight to avoid placing the detachment in too much danger. We do not always have the luxury of this, especially in the offense, so it will be wise to move these quickly up the table and support them with other armor so the enemy is faced with a difficult choice of what to engage. While the Predator's detachment size is a major strength, it can also be a significant weakness, especially if playing on a terrain-heavy table. Detachments on the larger end can easily become canalized or bogged down in difficult or obscuring terrain, negating their movement advantage and preventing them from directing their full firepower at a desired target. When placing such detachments on the table, be sure to do so where they will have large enough movement corridors to effectively deploy into combat formation and engage the enemy. In general, I would recommend against using the Predator Annihilator in the defense. While its quick movement may allow it to form an effective mobile reserve, by keeping it in a static and responsive role, you are failing to make the maximum use of that movement advantage. The size of the detachment also will make it awkward to deploy it with sufficient concentration to blunt an enemy offensive. The offense is where the Predator Annihilator is going to be most effectively employed. By moving up the table with a C's group, we make the most of the Predator's strengths and ameliorate some of its weaknesses by supporting it with other detachments. The first, of course, is that an offensive role maximizes the Predator's movement, allowing it to push quickly up the table in support of our C's group. By supporting it with other detachments, we are also forcing the enemy to make a choice of targets, to fire on the less well armored predators, who can nevertheless output a high volume of fire, or to fire on other heavier armor that may have shorter ranged but more damaging weaponry. An offensive role also permits the predator to move freely up the table, using its movement to advance, deploy in combat formation, and to evade enemy fire all at once. When positioning the Predator Annihilator, as always with armored detachments, we want to ensure that we have sufficient lines of sight to engage the enemy we wish to engage and where we wish to engage him with our weapons. We also want to make sure that we have sufficiently wide movement corridors to allow our detachments to move swiftly up the table without being canalized and still maintaining the ability to deploy to engage the enemy. If used as a defensive force, place them centrally and out of enemy line of sight so that they can move to either side of the table to engage an enemy offensive. Lastly, if the predator is forced into a more static role, it is critical that we take advantage of any cover available to mitigate the effect of enemy fire. We have examined uses for the Predator Annihilator in both the offense and the defense. But as I have stated repeatedly throughout this video, the primary use for this detachment should probably be as part of a C's group moving quickly up the table to take objectives. Its most effective use is providing mass in the offense, which will give durability and volume of fire to your offensive deployments. That's all for now, Commanders. Dismissed.